Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, normally when it comes to East Africa, or should I say Eastern, you normally have the election first in Tanzania, then it will go to Uganda, and the cycle will go like that to Kenya. So when you see Tanzanians having election, you just prepare yourself. After Uganda, Kenya. So Uganda will be having their election soon. Then after that, we will have serious, vigorous campaign here in Kenya. Then the election will follow, and that chapter will be closed. Then we wait again. So, with the election in Tanzania and the upcoming election in Uganda, President William Ruto was on Aljazeera, and the panelist asked him a question about the concluded election in Tanzania, where Samia Suluhu was declared a winner with 98%. The question was, is there still democracy in Tanzania? Ruto responded that it is not for him to judge Tanzania. But he answered that question. He did it indirectly in terms of those percentages. Listen to him, then we will go further to understand Ruto's comment as far as Tanzanian election is concerned. Then the issue of Uganda also came in. But first of all, now before we go to the issue of Ugandan election, at first, the Tanzania one. In Ruto's response, he said that getting 98% is not easy. And he used the example of Kenya. In Kenya, you can never get 98%. So he avoided directly talking about the issue of democracy when it comes to election in Tanzania. But using the example of Kenya, Ruto has just confirmed there is no democracy in Tanzania. That is William Ruto. As simple as that. Having looked at the figures, there is no democracy in Tanzania. You cannot score 98%. And I don't know, even those who are helping Samia Suluhu to rig the election, how do you put her even at 98? At least give a figure that can be acceptable or discussed. But 98, that means almost the entire country is behind her. Kura zimepigwa karibu, was it 31 or 32 million? The electorate. But then, the guy also jumped to Uganda. Election is coming up soon in Uganda. So, his question is that, how are you sure of this election that is going to be free and fair? Give your comment about Uganda. Will there be free and fair election? So Ruto also jumped and he responded. The issue of percentage also came in. Listen to him. So Ruto has reserved comment for Uganda, and there's something also he has said about Tanzania as far as election and democracy is concerned. I want us to look into that discussion. But before we go deep into this, I have a quick and humble request for those who are watching this channel and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to our discussion. If you listen to President William Ruto very carefully, what I can tell you is that the president is saying that Tanzanian election was not free and fair. There is no democracy in Tanzania when it comes to election. He avoided saying it directly, but then if you have to analyze his statement, that is it. So, Ruto's comment as far as the Tanzanian election is concerned, it was not free and fair, though he's using diplomatic language, in as much even he congratulated Samia Suluhu for for regional politics. You understand? Now, when it comes to Uganda, he has said that in the previous election, when he went there and you see he went there for inauguration or swearing in of Museveni, Museveni got 57%. Now, Museveni is a clever thief. At least you give a figure that cannot raise eyebrows. That your competitor, got this and what you got, you are just ahead of him. It's not that huge margin. This is clever. Whatever Tanzania, they are foolish thieves. Foolish ones. You give a figure that tells you indeed that, it shows that rigging here was on another level. That even there was no, in fact, the Tanzanian figures tells you that there was no election in Tanzania. It was just selection, like Mother Karua would put it, and a coronation. Simple. The level of dictatorship in Tanzania is on another level. The Ugandan one is a clever thief. For Uganda, many believed Bobi Wine won the election, but Museveni used a way to have more number of members of parliament, and the way he got to that position. But he has maintained that Kenya is way ahead. Some are trying to catch up in terms of democracy. Kenya tuko mbali kabisa, that's the truth. Huwezi linganisha. In as much, yes, kuna wizi wa kura hapa Kenya, lakini the level of democracy huwezi linganisha. Kwa sababu ukijipanga vizuri pia kwa wabunge utakuwa nao. For example, Azimio and Kenya Kwanza. When you go to the number of members of parliament, Azimio had more MPs than Kenya Kwanza. In the Senate, Kenya Kwanza had a different, was it 2 or 3 senators? So the difference was small. So it tells you even if rigging will happen there, but you can still have the numbers here, you can control what can happen in those houses, National Assembly and Senate. So the conclusion is that democracy in Kenya is way ahead of these other countries. I don't know your views, but please let us meet in the comment section so that we can continue with our Punchline discussion. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening to me up to this far, and see you in our next video.